Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to remove a mouse nest from your push mower. Now it doesn't really matter exactly what kind you have, but as long as it looks something like this, the procedure will be pretty much the same. So I got this mower used, and so this is my first season using it. It's a Toro personal pace. But when I first started checking it out before the season, I noticed up in here under the cowling in a few different places there's a bunch of fluff sticking out. Now that could be dead grass, but experience from working on lawnmowers before tells me that it's very possible that that is a mouse nest. Now I want to get rid of that for two reasons. One, I don't want a mouse nest in my lawnmower, but also you can see here these little aluminum fins. They are part of what keeps the engine cool when air blows over it while it's running. And if you have all this fluff built up in there, it can block that cooling, so your engine will potentially overheat. But also, that heat builds up, and from the muffler too possibly, can cause all this dry material up in here to start to smolder and smoke and possibly catch fire, which I have had happen to me one time because I used to repair lawnmowers, and I've seen a lot of stuff because of that. So anyway, I will show you how to get rid of that if you have the same kind of thing going on. Okay, so what you're going to need to do a job like this are just a few things. A basic tool set, probably just a few sockets really, nothing really complicated. A parts bin so you don't lose any pieces. You'll probably want a screwdriver and a pair of needle nose to help clean the thing out, as well as maybe a shop vac like this small one I have here, and then a waste bucket or something like that just to hold the debris. So what I'm going to do is start by taking these three nuts off of the starter housing, and so we can take this assembly off, and hopefully this cover should lift right off and let us get at the nest in there. If that doesn't do it, we can start taking apart a few more things, but I don't think that will be necessary in this case. You might have that for you, but figuring out how to take this guy off isn't terribly complicated, so let me get started on that. Okay, so let's get started with pulling these guys off of here. Okay, now make sure you don't lose your parts. Keep it by keeping it in a magnetic bin or something. So now that all those nuts are off, we can remove the starter housing, which just kind of looks like this. When you pull on that cord, it engages these cogs that pull out. So anyway, that's pretty neat there. And then this housing, nothing else should be holding it on. So we pull that straight off. There you go. That would be a mouse nest right there. So to pull that out, there's nothing living in here actively. Jeez. So get all that out. There's a lot of here. Dang. And once you get into some of the harder crevices and things, you can use pliers or a screwdriver if you have to. But pretty much you just want to get this all cleaned out. It doesn't have to be pristine. You don't have to spray it down with a hose or anything. It's not like you're going to have to eat off of it, but what you want is to make sure that as these fins on the flywheel here, that this whole assembly spins, okay, when the engine's running. These little fins cause air to blow inside of the cowling we just pulled off, and it forces air to run down into the, or past all these fins that you see right here to cool the thing off, like I said. So you want to make sure all these fins are clear and clean so air can blow past them easily. That's mainly what you're looking for. So anything beyond that is just to make it pretty, basically. So once you get all of this cleaned out, reassembly is just as easy as it was to take it apart. Okay, now you can use the shop vac to Now before you put anything back together, you will want to check to make sure your spark plug wire hasn't been chewed through or anything like that, because that can happen. But if that looks good, I got a little more back in there. Is that a dead mouse? I think that's actually a dead mouse. That is a dead mouse! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Actually a dead mouse in my engine. That's disgusting. That's just kind of gross, to tell you the truth. There it is. Don't look at it too much. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, check for dead mice in your engine. Alright, so now we're pretty much ready for reassembly. Like I said, it's the same steps but in reverse. Go ahead and set this guy back on. Make sure you're not smushing your spark plug wire. And then we'll go ahead and put the starter coil back on. And put whatever fasteners or screws or nuts that you had back in place and tighten those down. And then you are pretty much done and good to go. Okay. Alright, now when you put this thing back together, you want to make sure you are not going to over tighten things, so don't use the impact driver. But that is pretty much it. So thanks for watching. I hope you don't find an actual dead mouse like I did, but there you go. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And if you would subscribe, I would really appreciate it because that helps me out. Thanks. Bye.